Yeah, this is going to be, I think, one of the best series you can ask for. I mean, just speaking about the rivalries between the teams, the history with Ground Zero, obviously undefeated against Cringe Society, but that rivalry, it's still there. And we're going to see if Cringe Society have, you know, some defensive performances, I think, to counter out that play style. But the thing you have to consider, though, James, is that Torsos is on Ground Zero. That's the player you need to watch out for. That's the guy who's going to be getting the demos on the field, being super aggressive and disrupting that defense that Cringe Society love to fall back on.
Deca getting that off to the side. And we saw some plays from Torsos yesterday. He seemed to be that clutch goal scorer.
Yeah.
Ground Zero, a lot of their success traced back to him. We saw Amphis get really close on a lot of highlight plays and barely miss finishing. And then on the other end, we saw Jules doing almost everything for Cringe Society on both offense and defense. So we'll see if he has another strong series here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you got to talk about Express with the chip shot that we did see in that series against Riot. There were just so many highlights, James, in the series that we got to pass yesterday. And fortunately enough, watch, which was fantastic. So hopefully we get the same results here. I mean, this is some of the best in the region up against each other, trying to fight it out for that grand finals placement.
Express, a nice tap back. Backward bounce. Express getting up quickly. Going for the double. Torsos with the shot. It's saved by Deca. Amphis trying to get around it. He's got no boost. If he has any boost, he might have been able to get around that ball and gone for the dribble. We're seeing tons of pressure on Cringe Society right now.
Yeah, and Amphis was still going forward, and you can see him here still challenging on the offensive side, trying to make a play. Now off the backboard, does the man stop? I'm convinced this guy doesn't even want to fall asleep at night. He's too busy grinding, trying to win a challenge on this field. It's insane, Jay.
And I love this play from Amphis. He's in the net.
Oh my
And he goes and drives up the wall. Forget rotating. Drives up the wall, drops it right down to Express. That is an amazing play. Amphis showing you what he's capable of, but also the setup from Express. He put it all the way up there. It was a great passing play.
Oh, and you also have to talk about how Amphis, he did the exact same thing against Riot yesterday in their series. He stayed on the backboard and made use of that awkward positioning that forces the defense to pretty much not know or have any idea where he's trying to get that touch. It's a free pass if he makes contact. He does it yet again. Amphis off the backboard seems to be unbeatable.
Drip A playing some nice defense. Going for another touch here. Well-handled ball at the midfield and gets the dunk and another touch. But Amphis, huge speed. And you called Amphis out for hitting a similar shot yesterday. And Amphis, he seems to be very comfortable on the ceiling, on the walls, up high. In some pretty strange places, he seems to feel most comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about the setups for Amphis. While he's insane mechanically, you can even see them getting a pinch out of their own half here in the net. But I was just talking about how Amphis, he's the setup guy. He's going to be trying to get awkward touches on the offensive side, be a bit more aggressive, to give somebody like Torsos, who was shooting 46% accuracy in his previous series that we saw yesterday, 1.5 goals per game. Just give that man the ball, and he's going to score, James.
And even that shot, that made Jules stretch. Torsos going to take this over to the corner. Jules will get the challenge. Express up, going for the double tap and gets shut down yet again by Jules.
Oh, we'll see what Amphis does, though. Off the ceiling, the wave dash onto the ceiling to get the pass out to Torsos, who takes it back into the corner. I actually love that play, focusing on keeping the pressure up instead of getting a desperate shot on net to give away possession.
Gotta wonder, though, can Ground Zero keep Cringe Society down? It's a one-goal game. This has been back and forth. Decent amount of chances for Ground Zero. They have seemed to control the pace. But in a one-goal game, anything can happen. Torsos, mid-corner, gets shut down quickly by Jules. This will go all the way back. Amphis, lots of boost to work with, and gets a hard flick. That was a moon flick, Turtle.
And it was the setup to Express. I'm telling you, Amphis has got to be one of the best passers in the league. You know, even with all regions combined, I love seeing this man on the field. And you can tell that Ground Zero are so planned and well thought out with their touches. They know how to waste time. They know when to go for small touches like this from Amphis, keeping it close, trying to stall out and waste more boost of Jules. He has no choice but to slow things down. And overall, it's just a league above that of Cringe Society right now for Ground Zero.
Demo though, Amphis trusting Express.
Oh.
Side flip from
Jules?
Amphis. Oh. And that could have been bad for Ground Zero. Amphis side flips at that final play, but there was nobody around for Cringe Society. And Ground Zero, they sneak away with a 1-goal win.
Yeah, that is tough. Jules had a chance in the final few seconds. You could see it bounce off the backboard. I thought maybe for a second he would find that angle. It was still a difficult read, but nonetheless one that you have to make if you're in this series against Ground Zero. This team, you're going to need to hit shots like that and angles like that if you want to come out as the victor, James. And it's crazy because Ground Zero, they've already scored 1 goal. In the Cringe Society series versus Dire Wolves, they only conceded 1 goal. So right in the first game, Ground Zero have matched the same score line that Cringe Society were fighting up against for Dire Wolves. So that's already unreal and a wake-up call to Cringe Society that they're up against a beast of an offense.
Yeah, the offense was pretty impressive. We saw the only goal that went in was a beautiful goal. Express hitting Amphis, who drove up out of net onto the backboard and dropped it down to Express. That was a phenomenal play. But you look at Cringe Society, their defense was holding up quite nicely. The offense not as potent as what we saw from Ground Zero. We even saw some shots from Torsos that were very threatening.
Yeah.
So, this series, it does seem like Ground Zero has that slight edge, but if we can start seeing some offensive plays out of Cringe Society, you can see this series getting close.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Cringe Society and what they've got to offer on offense. And Deca's got a corner shot with an unbelievable angle here.
And you saw Express in the corner. He had missed the boost, and he tried to turn around and get it. And that split second of time lost, that was what gave Deca the opportunity to shoot that in. Sometimes you just got to get back to net, Turtle.
Well, that's just one of the strengths of Cringe Society. You give them an opportunity, a small little chance, and they're going to strike on it, which is why I'm a bit surprised that Jules was unable to find the angle in the final few seconds where things kind of broke down for Ground Zero. The first time we saw it happen in Game 1 was in those final few seconds, but Cringe Society, so long as they can regain and make a strong comeback, here in Game 2, I expect this to go the distance.
Lovely touch there by Express. Took that into an air dribble, forced the 50 in the air. Now Jules, weak hit. Express wanted to go over to Amphis. Amphis gets a touch. Second effort, will tap it. Wow. It's still in the mid. Drippy will win that. Now Amphis clearing downfield. Jules will pop it. Drippy has to retreat. Express, if he makes contact, that net was wide open.
Oh my goodness. Express hit the brakes on the aerial. You could see him in the upper left corner of the field waiting for the pass. He knew it was going to come out to him, but he hit the brakes, lost all momentum, and that means when he double jumped for the aerial, he was going nowhere, James. He couldn't catch up to the ball, and that was the best opportunity so far we've seen for Ground Zero.
We've seen a couple chances now where Ground Zero has been a few millimeters away from making contact on the shot. We even saw Torsos earlier floating up in the air, almost getting a shot on net. And now with that play from Express, very easily could have been another goal for Ground Zero. Cringe Society, they're going to have their hands full. Deca drops it down to Drippy. Oh. Drippy off the post, back to the middle and out. Man, oh man, that was a close call. Ground Zero looking for the equalizer, and they get it. Amphis, who was this that he beat on the 50? He was there by a mile.
Wow. You can see Deco is also trying to get a clear out too, and Amphis, like you said, James, beat by a mile was the opponent trying to match the speed. And if you're going up against Amphis at this point, I'd throw in the towel because you're not going to match his speed. You're not going to match his mechanics. There is no way. And Amphis yet again comes out clutch for his team.
And that's got to sting. Cringe Society, they got the first goal. They had another look. And then that ball bouncing off the post shortly after. The goal coming out from Amphis. Now Ground Zero There, oh, and Amphis, I thought that was gonna be another goal. Amphis side flipped around it, and I've seen Amphis now a couple times this series, a side flip that has messed up his idea, or his intended hit.
Right. And I'm a little bit curious, maybe he side flipped on purpose. I wish I could see it from his perspective again one more time, because it did look like there was gonna be a dunk had Amphis made contact. I'm not sure how much he had him beat by, but maybe it was a safe play. Either way, you're gonna wanna get some kind of 50 there in front of the net, James.
And contact, the most important thing.
Right.
Especially when you're in front of the net. You know, you just try to 50 that ball, hit it, see what happens. Sauce. As that ball dunked over him. Deca with another massive dunk. Amphis misses, and unbelievable. Drippe had the net, and Jules will bail him out. Ground
What
zero.
is going on?
Ground zero was struggling on defense.
Oh
Jules,
my goodness.
That shot from the corner, Turtle, bailed him out.
Ground zero got away with the murder because Amphis missed the backboard read, giving Cringe Society a free shot. Drippe couldn't find the accuracy, but then Express, his rotation, completely ruined by going up the backboard. Didn't expect that early shot. And now we've got a lead here for Cringe Society that really should have happened earlier, but it's just been given away by Ground Zero.
Good hustle from Drippe. Deca got tangled up on the post. Recovered enough to get a touch, but Drippe had to help out. Tortsauce off the ceiling now. We'll poke it down to Amphis, who's going for the air dribble past Deca, and he gets the dunk over Jules. Tortsauce also with some amazing plays, getting his jump back up off the ceiling and then bouncing it for Amphis.
You cannot time your boost and the contact with the ball any better than Amphis does right there. It was perfect, carrying it on the top of his car the entire way to the back of the net. That is how you get things done. Amphis with yet another highlight reel play.
And you see the creativity from Ground Zero. Even that the setup from Torsos going up to the ceiling, getting his jump back, and then bouncing it off the ground for Amphis to make that play. Then Amphis, in the very same play, the finesse that he had, that was a thing of beauty from Ground Zero. We've seen a couple great plays so far.
And it's kind of how we expected this series to go. I mean, Cringe Society trying to clean up on the mistakes that Ground Zero make, but this time the script has been reversed, and it's Cringe Society's defense coming out with a few defensive blunders.
Jules low on boost, Deca going for that ball, and just wasn't even close. That has to hurt. Express taking the lead for Ground Zero in the final 10 seconds. A chance to get another one.
My goodness.
Is it in? It is. Amphis off kickoff will seal it for Ground Zero.
Oh my. Amphis is just living in Jules' his head rent-free. Rent-free, James. You just go for a little break, little pause with your momentum, and you're gonna completely destroy and break the axles of the defender. Absolute light work for Amphis, and he doesn't even have the controller in his hands, just taking a break for a second at the beginning of this kickoff. And Ground Zero make the comeback and take the second game.
Yeah, it seems like Ground Zero might be living rent-free in their heads now, Turtle. 4-2 this game. It seemed like Cringe Society was going to be able to get this one. They started off hot. They got the lead. You know, we saw Jules bail out Drippe, who had missed that goal line shot. And it seemed like they might be able to hold things together, but man, that fell apart quick. Ground Zero scoring multiple goals back-to-back. Amphis getting a hat trick, and the plays were were just a treat to witness, especially that pass from Torsos, who when he came off the ceiling.
Yeah, 100%. And the utilization of the ceiling from Ground Zero has been phenomenal. But I also want to highlight the explosiveness that we have seen out of the offense of Ground Zero. Whenever they're on defense, they transition out so fast. I'm thinking back to the Drippe post hit where he couldn't find the angle in the corner. It bounced off the post, and Ground Zero were ready to fly to the other side of the field instantly. They weren't panicking. They weren't freaking out about the close post hit. They moved out of defense so fast and were ready to catch Cringe Society off guard, because that is the best opportunity. Whenever something comes that close, that narrow to going into the goal line, that's your chance to strike and get a good counterattack in.
And the setups, the self-setups from Ground Zero have been great. And I think that really does lend itself well to those counterattacks when you can receive the ball, get that first touch that lets you go into an air dribble, or take it downfield with a pair of touches in the air. That has been working out really well for Ground Zero.
I love that play from Torsos, who was actually one of the highest averaging players to go for demos. I mean, I think he averaged about 2 demos per game previously against Riot, and now you can see coming out here, he doesn't even want to go for the ball. He goes under it and tries to take out a player from Cringe side. Always mixing it up with his rotations and seeing how he can impact the field and the play without just touching the ball.
And that was the right idea from Deca. Drip A out in the middle, but Deca couldn't hit him on that pass. It was in traffic. Tap down, Deca will go high. Express denying the backboard. Drip A waiting on the sideline. The 50 keeps it in the corner. Torsos picking up full boost, but does get blocked out by Deca, who hits it off the ground. Amphis gets bumped, and the ball rolls up the post. Drip A couldn't hit the target.
It's Drip A again. There's always a chance for this man to punish on the defense of Cringe Society, but he comes up short time and time again, unable to make that shot count, and that has got to be painful for not just Drip A, but for the entire Cringe Society squad.
Yeah, when you jump on the lane, you get a bump. That bump on Amphis,
yeah,
that was exactly what was needed in that situation. Amphis got bumped to the moon. Drip A, we've seen him miss a few open nets so far this series, Turtle, and Cringe Society, they don't really have much wiggle room at all.
I mean, they're barely getting opportunities, and, you know, we want to compare offenses. You can look at Ground Zero, all the mechanics they're bringing out, the interesting shots and positioning from Amphis, demos from Torsos. A lot of Cringe Society is that one almost an own goal from Torsos. A lot of Cringe Society's plays has just been simple punishments. I would love to see them mix things up. Maybe Jules go for a couple of double taps. Try to mix things up the same way Ground Zero tend to do on offense.
Ground Zero, we know they've got many vectors of attack, whether it's the solo plays, the passing plays, Amphis driving up on the backboard, dropping things down. You never really know where that attack's going to come from. Nice backward bounce. Torsos gets bumped. Jules, far down. Jules stepping up to the plate.
Oh, yeah. Jules is going to hit this one. He bails out Drip A. Drip A, you know, you're not going for the shot, but you can get the demo. He makes contact on Torsos, who could have had a challenge there for the shot, giving Jules free range to go for the crossbar down shot, and he nails it.
And Jules has been playing well all tournament long. Jules fitting in so nicely. You even see there jumping out in front of that lane, clearing it all the way down. And this certainly feels like that must-win game, Turtle. We talk about it all the time. When you're already down 2 games in the series after the first 2 games, losing that third, it almost seems impossible. So this is a key game. Yeah.
But you still have to be on high alert, especially in the defensive end, because Cringe Society, they are relentless on offense. They're showing you why here.
Triple commit.
3 players forward, James. Deca.
Oh my goodness!
Wait. What?
Oh no! This is disastrous for Cringe Society. I cannot fathom how that was missed.
Hello? James, that looked almost like I started disconnecting from the server.
We have to break that play down. How did that not go in?
I have no idea. Deca had free range. The dribble towards the net. It got a little bit out of control towards the end, but still, you need to find the accuracy. This is Cringe Society, what they do best, the punishment, but somehow, against Ground Zero, they're missing that element.
And Amphis! Oh my goodness, we see a missed open net, and then we see this beauty of a goal. Oh my goodness.
We heard Leaf talking about it earlier, how entertaining this region is to watch. We get the highest highs and the lowest lows. The missed open net leads into a double tap for Amphis. That was incredible. What a play and comeback from Ground Zero.
And the look on Deca's face, that said it all.
Wow.
And this game just got even more important for Cringe Society, missing an open net like that, and then Amphis clipping on you. If they lose this one, Turtle, it certainly feels like it's all over.
It's the shooting accuracy, James. We've even seen it a couple of times with Drippe. Cringe Society looked so solid on defense, and now, oh no, this is dangerous. Amphis has space. What's he gonna do? An early challenge from Deca actually stuffs him in the midfield, and we've got this ball still floating up. Maybe we'll get a potential buzzer beater.
Torsauce will keep it up for Amphis, but Jules will break the play up. Amphis trying to keep the play alive, but we've got overtime. Cringe Society, a must-win game.
Yeah. And you've got to imagine how nervous Deca is at this moment. You miss that open net. I mean, you take this win in overtime, you know, you kind of move on, you forget about it, accidents happen, but a loss here, it's just that much more painful whenever you could taste the victory.
Deca. Push it over towards Drippe. Torsauce with a block. Express airborne. And that pinch will go to the corner. Drippe blasting it all the way downfield. Torsauce trying to take his time. Deca bumping Amphis out of net. Drippe will have to go out. Torsauce is upfield already. He's got Amphis in the middle. Express trying to feed it out, but Torsauce actually cut off Amphis. And they'll have to play a passive defense here. Express, light tap down, trying to control it. Jules in reverse got it to pop up to Drippe. Drippe, the 50, it's dropping down. Jules late, but still the first to it. Drippe the shot, and it's in! Cringe Society, they survive.
Oh my goodness, that is the biggest sigh of relief I'm sure Drippe's feeling, and also Deca finding the open net this time, hitting his mark. Drippe, that was clutch. You needed to get that one, James. I honestly could not see a situation or a possibility where Cringe Society take the win after they lose this game and have to get a reverse sweep where they miss that open net.
That was must win, especially after how emotionally invested that Cringe Society must have been. Ground Zero, if they win, right? That was a game that I'm sure they would have loved, but Cringe Society, just thinking about the emotional damage that they would have incurred if they lost that, it would have been impossible to recover from. But Drippe scores it. You saw the look on Deca's face. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
And it's even more I think absurd that we see an open net, because we see open net misses all the time, not only in our ranked games, James, but also at the highest level. It just happens. Accidents happen, like I mentioned earlier. But that was a dribble play. He could have controlled it a little bit more. So that's what made it that much more painful. But like I said, you move on. You win the overtime. You forget about it already. You got the win. That's all that matters, James. You can move forward and try to even the score line here if you're Cringe Society.
Yeah, and you're 100% right, Turtle. The win, that's all that matters. Because they won that game, I think they can look back and laugh at that play down the road. Deca certainly going to be smiling. You saw even after the win, the look of relief on his face. Drippe.
There were a couple of chances, though, James, for Ground Zero, where they were in a 2v1 situation. Even in that overtime, we saw Torsauce with a chance as Deca almost redeems himself. The mind game dribble still opening up space for Drippe as he takes a shot on net, but saved by Express. And I just wanted to mention, Ground Zero, there's a couple of chances where they have a 2-on-1 situation, but we don't see the typical aggression from Torsauce where he's getting the demos in. Maybe if we bring that element back, we could see a more dominant Ground Zero on the field.
See if Ground Zero can now bounce back. Still, seems like they might be firmly in the driver's seat. Torsauce. And there's the demos coming out. Torsauce will shoot that towards net, pretty much giving away possession. Amphis will have a double tap. Even going for it again. The dunk from Torsauce almost goes straight into the net. Now some open field for Cringe Society. Drippe getting harassed by Torsauce.
Drippe is looking good off the ceiling. A couple of shots on net. Things flowing as Amphis had his flip. Incredible power, but an even better save from Jules. Cringe Society have tightened up the defense and now proceeding on offense. Things as well getting cleaner. The polish is there now for Cringe Society that was missing the first 2 games.
And Deca, that was a nice read off the corner. Express gonna go to it. Jules with the beat. Jules continuing to show his speed and the defensive plays. Jules trying to hit that downfield. Torsos does run back. Jules with the steal in the corner will go for a block. Express out of boost. Low boost situation for ground zero. Finally, Express will pick up the midfield. And he'll hop in on the play. Deca straight up the wall. Amphis, he'll be first to it. Express. Got to be careful with Express. Express has been deadly with those double tap balls.
But Cringe Society, they have been really, really strong on that prediction game. You look at any passes that Ground Zero are trying to hit in the midfield, you've always got somebody intercepting it. But if you're too slow to the ball, it's not going to matter. Torsos storms through the field and wins this challenge.
That touch from Amphis, that threw off the defense enough. Deca, I don't know if he just didn't see Torsos or what. Didn't jump until late. And sometimes you can see that happening, especially in a situation like that. If your ball cam is on, a player might sneak into the play and you might not recognize it. And then when the camera does move to it, you saw the ball might have actually been blocking Torsos potentially. Deca just a split second too slow on getting the jump.
Well, Deca also, in that situation, as a defender in a high-level match, a lot of times you're just going to assume that they're not going to go for the ball because you have obvious control. And speaking of control, that one tossed across from Jules. Deca couldn't find the angle off the post yet again. Cringe Society so close to getting their first one in this game.
Now a 2v1 situation. Amphis, the flick Drippe. You feel bad for him. He's got Amphis dribbling it. Express coming downfield, threatening a demo.
Yep.
What do you do?
That's what they were needing, James. We saw this situation play out almost the exact same way, except that second player wouldn't go for the demo. That's how effective it is. All you have to do is just challenge that goalkeeper. Try to get in his way. Make him panic. Make him choose a route, a lane to go. And you set up the dribbler with almost a free net.
You divide that attention. And man, it gets results. We saw Drippe jumping, really didn't have a shot at saving that. It was an excellent play. Amphis taking his time, not panicking. And Express even connecting on the bump. Rebound out. Ooh. Deflection from Drippe. Express at the shot on target. Deca go for a block. Jules, light tap. Torsos jumping in the lane. Man, Torsos has been so quick. Yeah. He does not care about the space. You talk about the respect turtle, the spacing where in these high-level matches, you don't expect someone to be barreling on you.
Yeah.
Not respecting you at all, giving you no space. But Torsos, he has been consistently going for those quick challenges, and it has worked.
Well, the crazy thing is he goes for those challenges even whenever he is at a disadvantage. If he's farther away from the ball, he's still going to go no matter what. So if you hesitate for a split second, you're going to get absolutely dusted on the defense. And look at Jules right now get dusted with the dunk from Express.
Express, he saw that challenge coming from a mile away, and you saw the height that he got on that turtle. When you're going into those airborne challenges, usually whoever is higher in the air is going to win them. Deca.
Oh.
Getting denied, and it still doesn't go in. Oh, Deca seems to be cursed. That one wouldn't have made much difference, but that's some insult to injury.
Oh my goodness. This is how you go into match point now for ground zero. A missed opportunity. That just feels like it has been the theme so far for Cringe Society, James. They do all the work, put in the effort to open up that shooting lane for the third man to come in and find contact with the ball. It doesn't even matter. Sometimes all you have to do is just force the 50. That'd be better than straight up whiffing it. But Cringe Society, they can't get the consistency down to punish Ground Zero.
And Ground Zero, their offense has been spectacular. Their defense also has been tight. So it's been tough for Cringe Society to get around, but there has been times where Cringe Society has gotten really good looks. They've even had open nets that have not panned out for them, and that has to be weighing on their psyche, really, Turtle. When you miss shots like that, it really does get frustrating.
It adds up. It literally adds up. You know, getting a win definitely relieves a lot of that tension, but if you consistently miss those chances, you're going to think back to it towards the end of the game, after the series even. Those types of plays can haunt you, James, as a player. So we'll see how they react now. We're on match point, Ground Zero, 1 game away from taking the series. And Cringe Society, it seems like they're within grasp of a strong showing of taking the victory, but they just fall short with the shooting accuracy.
On the flip reset from Amphis. Amphis and Express, they have been teaming up to be bullies in these 2-on-1 situations, and that well-timed flip reset from Amphis, that was gorgeous.
That's what we were missing from Ground Zero in the 2-on-1. Have one player deliberately go for the demo, open up more space for the striker. We talked about it, James, dividing up your options, or the opponent's options, excuse me. And it makes everything so much easier. Amphis, he's got the mechanics to hit the flip reset. And I'm not surprised at all with the flip reset, yet it still looks nice.
Yeah, it was perfectly placed. You saw that Deca didn't have any chance of saving it. It wasn't a fast shot, but there was just nowhere to go.
I don't think Cringe Society are fully prepared for the aggression that Ground Zero have. These challenges, they're waiting. You know, they think they have space. They think that Cringe Society, there's no way that somebody on the other side will challenge them so early. But Ground Zero, there's no hesitation. I haven't seen one of them, you know, stutter a bit in that rotation to go for a ball. They don't care. They're flying at it, trying to make you lose the ball, at least lose possession a little bit and set up their own teammates.
And Amphis has been on fire. We saw yesterday in the Riot series, Amphis, he was still being that playmaker, still setting up some shots for his teammates, but he wasn't hitting those highlight plays that he's been hitting in this series. He has really stepped up and been that key player for Ground Zero. Some amazing plays. Honestly, Amphis could have all 3 top plays from the things we've seen from him in this series.
Yeah, I was a little bit scared, though, on that challenge. He kind of used his car as a ramp in the 50, and the ball just went straight to his own net, but that one didn't go in, fortunately enough, if you are a fan of this Ground Zero roster. And we can't take away any, you know, of the skill that Cringe Society possess. They certainly have all the elements here to make a great comeback in this series. They've just got to strike whenever they need to and hit the mark when that opportunity is presented. We haven't seen it at all this series, James.
We have not yet, and time is running out. Whoever wins this series will be moving on to the grand finals with that extra life.
Oh, huge. Have we seen a grand finals bracket reset win from a team yet?
We've seen a couple bracket resets, but I've not seen a win yet. Rosas will tap it up. Now downfield. Express going for the backboard hit. Amphis will bail out. Now turning around. I think he was surprised at how long it took for Cringe Society to get to that ball.
Oh, Torsos, look at how quick he is to challenge and how fast Express is for the reaction. That you can't match this speed if you're Cringe Society. That explosiveness. How quickly Ground Zero are ready to transition out. It's amazing. This is some of the best in the world in terms of transitioning. I am incredibly impressed right now with Ground Zero. This is a fantastic showing from them.
And how could we forget the BDS bracket reset?
Oh, certainly. Wow. And that's the crazy thing. It takes, you know, a team like BDS to run through, make that bracket reset. It's so difficult and so It's a toll on your mental game, really, James.
I mean, honestly, it gets to a point where you think, is BDS even a Rocket League team, or are they something else?
Yeah.
But, Cringe Society going to have to try to channel their inner BDS to get back into the series, trailing by 1. We're approaching the final minute, and Ground Zero has been setting the pace, and we'll get another one here. Torsos. That might be the dagger.
It's just too easy for Express to continuously set up his teammates. Usually we saw Amphis get a lot of those assists, but he's been the star striker in this series, and it's been Express to set up him and a little bit of Torsos, who's been kind of filling in where he needs to. 5 saves for Torsos in this game alone. Incredible performance. All 3 of them definitely deserve this spot and have earned that position in the grand finals, but there's still time. We could see something outstanding from Cringe Society, but they need it soon.
Torsos, one more. Crossbar down off the pass from Express. It might be too little too late, Turtle. Ground Zero with another statement.
Yep, look at all the space in the air. That's how fast Ground Zero are moving out of their own half. Cringe Society don't have time to go back and get boost and then turn. By the time they grab that boost, the ball is in the air, right in front of their net. Somebody from Ground Zero is there for a shot, and at that point, if that's what you're looking at, it's over, James. There is no chance. Ground Zero too strong.
Ground Zero, they have been ferocious. Amphis, been like a tiger. Waiting, pouncing on top of Cringe Society, tearing them to shreds. Amphis, it has been amazing to see him play. Really standing out.
Yeah, I love his play style, Amphis specifically, and also what everybody else adds to the team. You know, you've got somebody like Amphis who's kind of the center with those mechanics. You've got Express hitting the assist, Torsos with the demos, and Ground Zero, they've been to the grand finals in the fall major, getting beat by the underdogs, Mind Freak, but they're back and better than ever, ready to take another shot at the throne, James.
Ground Zero, that was a great series from them, moving ahead into the grand finals with that extra life through the winner bracket. Ground Zero showing that they are the best team right now. There really is no denying it with how easily they've cruised through to the grand finals. Ground Zero, the team to beat.
Oh yeah, and the question is, who can beat them? Because Cringe Society, some of the best, consistently making top 4 in every single regional, I believe, throughout the winter split. Now they come out here and it doesn't really look that close. Granted, there were a couple of missed opportunities, but still, Ground Zero above them in terms of skill, mechanics, speed, 50s. I think the defense even looked better. How are you going to stop that, James? We'll see. We're going to have to find out. Somebody needs to step up to the plate.
Yeah, there's only 3 teams left that can get that final grand final spot, and we're going to find out who that team will be. We've got our lower semifinals coming up right after the break. Stay with us.